Boom. Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome. Hey, Pernilla, nice to see you. Hey, let's get those cameras on. Let's get those cameras on. Looks like we got some maybe new people here and a lot that are back again. Hey, Mike, welcome back again. David Fisher, super nice to see you. Karen, Lisa, hey, Elizabeth, Rhonda, staying strong every day. How many of you, let's go to the chat bar. How many of you, this is day 3, type in day 3. How many of you did 2 days? How many of you just did 1 day? And how many is this? This is your first day. What is it for you? Tell me in the chat bar. We got DJ on Montana. Hey, super nice to see you. Jim Pierce and Jim and Debbie Hartlov, my man, Danny Barrera in the house. So we got 1 day. We got day 3, day 2. All right. So no matter if you're here 1 day or you're on your 3rd day, I would love for you to commit to all 5 days, even if it's watch the replay. Now, who needs the link to the Facebook group? Because I see some new faces here. So put a question mark if you need a link to the Facebook group where there's some really amazing things happening. So I am super excited. Pam, they just put the link in. So go click it, hit a request, and you're going to see a lot of people playing full out and sharing a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm really excited. The rest of you, if you can turn your cameras on, hey, I would really love that. This way I'm talking with you and we're talking together. So those of you that have done 1 day or 3 days, type in the chat bar, what's changed? What's changed for you? Tell me, is it thinking? Did a result happen? Did you experience something different and weird? Jim says action. All right, so you're taking different action. What else? I want to hear from a bunch of you. Prosperity, picked up 2 clients yesterday. Beautiful. Brendan, certainty. I can see a shift in my thinking by facing my lies. Hey, nice job, Rhonda. I love that. Focused action. Feeling more confident. Yeah, shoulders back, chin up, right? Do you remember when you were, how many of you either had or have like young boys, I think, do it a little more than young girls, but you had a young boy that stood on the edge of the couch. Did any of you? And they're pretty sure like they can fly, right? They probably, if you had young boys, you probably experienced a few trips for stitches and arms banged up and a fair amount of like ice packs and stuff like that. But, you know, it's interesting how when you're young and you're learning, like there is that sense of like braveness and that sense of being like a rebel and seeing yourself as this super strong human, right? Wonder Woman or Superman. And then as life goes, you get some experiences and you feel like all of a sudden you're not like Superman or Wonder Woman. You feel slightly broken and a little confused and you have chaos in your life. And then you get to a moment like this, where during this moment, you're faced with some new information, maybe even the same information, but you're ready for it right now. How many of you feel like if this was a year ago, maybe you weren't ready? Type in ready in the chat bar. Maybe you weren't ready a year ago. But how many of you, give me a big boom if you're like, you feel, maybe it's the eclipse for all of you. Maybe the eclipse gave you superpowers and now you're all ready, right? But how many of you, like, give me a big boom. You're like, yeah, this is your year, which is conflicting what the world wants to tell you, right, Lisa? Like the world wants to say it's a problem, it's slow and blah, 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 and the economy and blah. But you're saying, I don't even understand that language. I don't even understand it. All you understand is moving forward, right? Moving forward. And so don't forget, in the Facebook group, we have the replays, and sometimes they even put it on an auto replay and play it in some of the groups, and that's cool. And we'll let you know when that group is going to shut down. We leave it open for a while because we want to make sure that you're getting muscle. We want to make sure that you're building momentum. Type in momentum if you're feeling a little bit of momentum. Are you feeling it? Do you see how it stacks? Now I know maybe you can't do an hour a day with me 365 days a year, even though that might be fun. But there is a momentum of, that's why it's a 5-day challenge, because we're challenging you. Will you show up? Not just show up, like, will you show up ready? The other thing is we still do have a little bit of time. If you wanted to invite anybody else to the challenge, they still could catch up. But I think once we hit day 4, human behavior says most people just won't do what it takes to catch up. But here's the link. We'll put the link in. If you do want to go share it on social media and tell people, like, it's day 3, there's still a chance to catch up here. You could still do it. And but probably in a couple days, most people, they may not do it. And how many of you type in vision if you're a little bit clear on the vision that you want? Like, we know it's 120 million people or more in 120 countries or more by the year 2030, right? Like, we're really clear on that. So there's no question if we're going to get there, because our minds are laser focused. So let's see, we got vision and vision and vision and vision. Yeah. And clearer. Every day you want to get a little bit clearer. Like, just a little bit. You want more clarity, because as belief comes in, clarity comes in, right? As belief comes in, you're like, you know what? Yeah, I could do this. Then clarity is going to come in. So that's what we did for the homework on day 1. Yesterday, we picked 3 things, right? We picked 3 scripts. And these were scripts or imprints that you asked yourself, is this, like, whose truth is this? Type in truth if you're finding value in that question there. Like, whose truth is this? Is it twisting any of you up at all? Are you like, man, Mike, like, everything all day, I'm like talking and I'm like, whose truth is that? You're like, I can't win. Like, whose truth is that? That's because your mom said you got to struggle, or your dad struggled, or your grandparents struggled, right? And so there was 3, your homework was to find 3 things that you have to see, like, is that your truth? And do you want that to be your truth? Is that your truth? And do you want that to be your truth? The way you play this game of life is the way life's going to play the game with you, right? This way I tell people, get out of your comfort zone, especially some of you. I realize your camera's off. Maybe you're in an inappropriate place. But if you're not, turn your camera on. Especially if it's uncomfortable. If it's uncomfortable, because, fear is something that's there to build strength and growth. If you don't challenge your fears, guess what happens? Your fears are going to own you. And I get it. Some of you, you have some real programmed fears. I'm sure of it. I'm sure you lost money and lost people you cared about, and maybe you had a relationship that didn't work out, or maybe you dealt with parts of your health that maybe challenge you. But when we go forward into this, we step into it, guess what? As we step forward, that future steps closer. I want you to write that down. As we step forward, that future steps closer. Every one of you can have, financial freedom. You could have more money. All of you can. I promise you. I was just on a podcast. I'm pretty sure this guy's a billionaire, pretty close to it right now, pretty close. And, he asked me a couple things about, success. and what it means. And I was like, success to me is the moment that you live this vacation style life. Not vacation style, like people have this opinion of vacations that it can't be a life unless you're sitting with your feet up and you have nothing to do. No, a vacation's life when you love what you do so much, you would never ever want to stop it. Right? You would never want to stop it. Type in vacation if you want that type of life. You love what you're doing so much, you just never want to stop it. And, when I go back, I have a decade of struggle. I mean, a decade of real, I would just say real struggle. And there's only at the moment where that theory of burning the boats, right? Who does not know the story of burning the boats? Put a question mark if you don't know the story. A lot of you in my world, you've heard the story before. And every time I tell the story, okay, Lori, okay, so let me share it. I'm going to give my version of it. All right. Sometimes I play a video, but maybe tomorrow I'll play it for you guys. So here's now, I'll tell you, Dennis, most people, this story I'm going to share will never do this. They will never do this story, but let me share it. So this general brings his army onto the island, this island. On the other side of the island is the enemy. So they land on the beaches, and now the army that lands on the beaches, all their boats that they came off of, right? All the boats they came off of are sitting out there in the water, and he has this whole army here. And then he turns around and tells his generals, shoot and burn the boats. Can you, just put yourself there. You're in the army and you're thinking, okay, we're going to go fight. That's bad enough. But if we start to lose, like we could at least go and get on our boat and we could go away. And imagine you're getting ready to fight and you look and the boats are burning. There's no more boats. Well, you only have one choice right now. One choice. What's the choice? Tell me in the chat bar. What's the choice? Either win or die, right? You either win or die. Now, this might sound like an extreme thing, and I'll relate it to a business because I know, how many of you are business owners? Type in owners. I know I got a lot of owners that follow us. And if I put it to a business perspective, when I decided to make a decision to no longer struggle and build a company, that's the moment where you're burning the boats. Why? Because you have to burn all these old thoughts in this mind. You have to let go of these old patterns and behaviors and habits, and you got to be willing to challenge yourself to move forward. So I remember, and now I think it's either 37 or 39 years I'm with American Express. Man, like they should send a couple fruit baskets or something, right? Now I have all kinds of cards. I don't know how many, like who uses Amex? Type in Amex. How many different color Amex cards do you have? So I have a blue one now. I have a gold one. I have a green. I'm looking at them while I'm talking to you. I have a green one because I have multiple companies, right? So I have management companies and all kinds of companies. And I have a green one and I have a rose-colored one. So the point of the story is back then when I got American Express, Erica, 30-something years ago, I needed training. You're just not going to move forward as fast as you will without learning the right training from the right people at the right time. If you think that's truth, type in truth. It's truth for me because I spent over 3.8 million on my training, and I'm not saying to complain. To you, that probably, come on, be real. Is $3.8 million a lot of money? Type in dollar signs in the chat bar. Is that a lot of money? That's a lot of money, 3.8 million. But would you give me 3.8 million if I can give you over 500 million in sales? Would you? Would you give me 3.8 million for 500? Because I've done 500 over 500 million in sales. Would you give 3.8 million for selling companies well over 70 million? Of course you would. So now it's a no-brainer, right? Now it's a no-brainer. but you have to know it's a no-brainer beforehand. You got to be willing to burn the boat. So the American Express card back then, I went and I was like, well, yeah, it's not like today. You know, you go on social media, you could do some post, you know, those that post the most will win the most. Most of you that have business owners, I still got business owners telling me they're not on Facebook. I'm like, and then they want to convince me, I don't think any of my clients are on Facebook. I'm like, really? Like, who's your clients? Because I have on Facebook CEOs of hospitals, doctors, attorneys, IT professionals, insurance, real estate. I'm like, who are you dealing with that's not on Facebook? But those that post the most get the most, right? Because it creates awareness. And those of you that follow me, I mean, how many posts do I post a day? Tell me. And I don't post, I deliver value. I hope you guys believe that. Like, I don't just post crap. I deliver things that make people shift and think and believe and change. Mary says 20, probably. So I post value there. Now, back to the business owner. Back then, I needed to go in these yellow pages because that's the game back then, right? That was the game. And if you open up a yellow page book like this, if there's an ad on both pages, they call it a double truck. A double truck. Now, who wants to guess the cost of that ad for both pages per month? Per month. Let's see who's got it. There still is yellow pages, Erica. I just got one the other day. Okay, 5,000. Okay, so back then was 3,000 to 5,000 a month. A month. Now I got the magnet, Brendan, on the front. The magnet, that was 10,000 a month. So I want you to imagine yourself. You do not have a big company. You don't have a lot of employees, but you're going to play a bigger game. And you take the Amex card and you say, hey, I want to put $10,000 a month to put this magnet coupon, 120,000 a year in front. So we do it. The first month, no calls, Mary. Holy mackerel. Guess what, DJ? I am sweating now like, holy mackerel. But I don't quit. And I bet you don't quit either. Who's not a quitter? Type in I'm not a quitter in the chat bar. Who's not a quitter? So I don't quit. The rep, I'm going, man, what are we doing? He goes, don't worry. It just went out. It's momentum. Month 2, a couple calls. But I keep telling myself, don't quit. Don't quit. You don't quit. You got to stay in the game. Write this down. Get started, stay started. I'm going to give you 3 phrases that changed my life. Ready? Get started, stay started. See, a lot of people are big talk. They're full of air. They get started and stop quick. They don't get started and stay started. Or they get started and get complacent. You got to get started and stay started. My one business partner, Rob, said years ago, he said, the difference between us and everyone else is we still do the level of energy and effort as if it was the first year, 10 years later. Somebody should give me a boom for that because there's a big boom lesson in that, right? We did what we did from the day when we started. We behaved the same way 10 years and 20 years later. Never stop. Okay, so we got get started, stay started. The next one, win the day. Win the day, Danielle. Win the day. You know what that means? Winning the day is not everything is perfect. It's everything is balanced. It's not everything is perfect. It's everything is balanced, right? Balanced is you got a flat tire, but also got a check in the mail for some money. That's balanced. That's winning the day. When you show up, you get started and stay started in front of your family, in front of your children. Okay, let's get a little real here. How many of you have to set a little stronger, little better example for your kids, your grandkids, your partner, your husband and wife? Come on. Just like you have to just step up and be like, yes, I'm going to be a leader. I'm going to bitch less, do more. I'm going to work on removing, not tomorrow, not overnight, but I'm going to go from removing victim to go to victor. So that's number 2, win the day. Number 3, the phrase. Ready, Rhonda? I will, I can, I must, right now. I will, I can, I must, right now. This one has kept me from being this perfectionist. How many of you have this perfection thing? Like you're still researching and researching and researching and researching and researching. And it's just like research, no decision, research, no decision. No, I will, I can, I must right now. I make quick, swift decisions. If that decision didn't work out, guess what? I'll make a new decision. But if you just keep like, does anybody shoot a bow and arrow? Anybody? Like I was a bow hunter when I was young. I stopped hunting because I thought it was unfair. And I thought if I could train the deer to have a Bowie knife, then I would hunt again because now me and the deer could fight with a knife. But I thought it was unfair from a distance. But a bow and arrow, you pull it back and you hold it. If you never let go, you can never see how close to the target you are. So those are 3 things that I want to serve you with today. All right. Now, how many of you, there's some of you, today is day 1, it's new. So type in new if today's day 1. So I know. Okay. Rattle the antlers. There you go. All right. So for some of you, just a, if it's not day 1, but a reminder, and thank you. A whole bunch of you have signed up for the Wealth Code. I'm excited that you signed up for the Wealth Code because the Wealth Code is now, we're going to be putting a lot of this momentum. Here's the Wealth Code, everybody. We're going to put this momentum for Wealth Code. We're going to put it into application, not just theory. How do you now take this message and bring the message? How do you take this strategy and put it into your life? How do you learn about this thing with like banking or something and go and apply it? Apply it. So that's what the Wealth Code is. Okay. But if I can't get you to start to believe in yourself, well, this training's just going to be, this would be a waste of time for a non-believer. If you believe your life is just going to suck forever, don't invest any money on the training. But those of you that are investing, and willing to do this. And if you are attending the Wealth Code, type in Wealth Code. And if you know you're a rebel and you want to be that rebel to win, not the rebel for chaos, the rebel of winning, type in rebel too. And we're giving you 83% off. That's not going to be forever, guys, because this is like, I've never done this training for that. People just 2 years ago spent $6,500 for this training. And we're giving it to you for $500. I think it's right under $500. So if you need the link to the savings for it, the team's going to put in the chat bar. So that's option number 1 for you guys. I would love for, if you're showing up to this, it means there's value. If you need some kind of payment plan or something, because it's just one of those days in your life or seasons, what we would call it, then let me know. Let me know. And we'll, we'll do some kind of payment plan. I'll help you out the best I can. I know I think I saw Eagle jumped on and he signed up. Whole bunch of people signed up. The second one is, this one is a little more for someone who wants to be in person. Okay. Only 20 people, just so you know. And we are, I think, 60% sold out right now. So if you want to come to the Jersey Shore, you want to spend 2 days with me, and you wonder, those of you that been in person with me for a couple of days, just put in a couple words. What is it like to be in person with me? Like, how much could be solved? How much transfer? I know what could be solved because I have created more millionaires and decamillionaires than anybody I know right now. So I know what happens in person. And but you got to fill out this form. So click the link, fill out the form. I'll review it. I'm picking everybody. We got a couple more spots left. If you feel you're worthy of investing in yourself to move that level of speed, yeah, boom, fill it out. Okay. And of course, we have our whole team here. So if you have any questions, just ask the team. All right, I got a video for you guys, and then we're jumping right into the training. remember with all videos, I don't play, even though it's a fun video, I'm not playing it for fun. I'm playing it to make a point. So let's see what point you think that's being made in this video. It is a little fun and a little silly. Hey, Tomas, nice to see you. Justin, what's happening? Elizabeth, let me see who else jumped on. Jason, Stephanie staying strong every day. All right, some of you get your cameras on if you can. Christopher, back again. What's happening? All right, here we go. Let's click this. And boom.
Lloyd. First Mary dumps us, then the cops take our nest egg, then our hog breaks down. Yeah! When are we ever gonna catch a break?
All right, hold on. I didn't see anybody else texting me, but I heard my wife from the second floor actually yelling. So, was it too low? It's a little low. Okay, let me see if I could fix that real quick, guys. So hang on 1 minute. It could be because, so thank you for my wife for yelling from the second floor there. Let's see if we could dial it in. All right, let's try it one more time. You guys give me a thumbs up if you could hear it clear enough. Okay, give me thumbs up if you could hear it good enough. Okay, good job.
Can't believe this, Lloyd. First Mary dumps us, then the cops take our nest egg, then our hog breaks down. Yeah! When are we ever gonna catch a break?
Hi, y'all. Hey, allihopa. Hey, guys. We're going on a national bikini tour, and we're looking for 2 oil boys who can grease us up before each competition.
Mike, it's still really quiet for us.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Who can hear it enough? Give me thumbs up because I can't do any more. All right, I got people can hear it enough. So let's just finish it. And you could go watch the video later.
Maybe you could throw in the captions really quick.
There's a town about 3 miles that way. I'm sure you'll find a couple guys there.
Okay, thanks. Bye. Hey, doll.
Do you realize what you've done? Hey! Lloyd! Lloyd! You'll have to excuse my friend. He's a little slow. The town is back that way. Wow. Two lucky guys are gonna be driving around with those girls for the next couple of months. Yeah. Don't worry, we'll catch our break too. Just gotta keep our eyes open. Yeah.
There you go. We'll catch our break.
If you have at least
soon.
$50,000 saved.
Kill that. We'll catch a break soon as long as we keep our eyes open. How many of you would be transparent enough to say, like, you keep telling yourself more about the problem than the opportunity? Type in the chat bar. How many of you are telling yourself that? Like, you're telling yourself more about what's not happening than what's going to happen. Okay, so a couple honest people. Thank you for that. I do know if you're telling yourself what's going to happen, the opportunities come. Let me draw a diagram for you. Grab a fresh sheet of paper, everybody. Grab a fresh sheet of paper. Because if we draw this line here, right here, okay, we have this line. On the beginning, for most people, I promise you, what you don't have is because there is a sense of fear. There is. I will just tell you, no matter who's on here, how strong you are, how tough you are, if you don't have the money in abundance you want, there is a sense of fear inside of you. And that fear has been programmed. Now, if this is a timeline, the question is, how fast do you want to go from fear to trust? Right? Like, how fast do you want to go from fear to trust? Now, if you do not trust yourself because you took a chance and you did some MLM and it didn't work out, and you started a business and it didn't work out. Oh, that's the other thing they asked me on the podcast today. Like, was there a time where you failed and what did you learn? And I said, well, failure will do a couple things. It will either kill you or create momentum by choice. For some people, failure, they lose trust, they go back to fear. For some of you, when you have failure, you go from fear to trust and you create momentum. Momentum. That's what happened to me when I had a $4 million lawsuit. Like, those of you that are business owners, I just want you to imagine one day you get a lawsuit so big, you're pretty sure your business is going to die and die painfully. Like, not only is it going to be bled out, you're going to be dragged down the street by a rope, by a car or something, like that bad. And I remember having that gut of, holy mackerel. And I had two partners at the time, and we sat there for probably a whole day in this state of fear. What do we do? How do we do? We now got to get attorneys and lawyers, and we have to fight, Elizabeth. We have to fight the case in California. We're in New Jersey, flying back and forth. And I said, okay. I remember saying it just like this. It was three of us. We were sitting in my one partner's kitchen in South Brunswick. I said, okay, we have a choice. This can kill us, or we can go right into certainty. We can go right into certainty. And I said, if we go into certainty, I know what solves this problem. What do you think solved the problem, everybody? Type in the chat bar. And it wasn't a shotgun. For any of you gun owners, it was not a shotgun or a Glock. It's money. It was money. So I just needed, right, Lori, create more money. I needed to go into certainty. At first, when we heard about it, we were confused. And we were scared. And we were nervous. And then we said, wait. I said, you guys fight this thing. I'm going to take the company to trust and certainty. I'm going to trust myself. We got this far. If we got this far, we could get further. So you have to ask yourself, if this was little slashes on a timeline here, where are you? Where are you? Because if you're in trust, I also said this on the podcast, so it was good that I had this, Jim. He asked me what caused, and because he's a business guy, he was asking business stuff, so that's why I'm relating it to business. He asked me, he said, so in business, what creates the greatest success the fastest? Do you guys want to know the answer? Type in answer in the chat bar. Do you want to know it? I said, well, I'll share with you. I know because I did it. Success number one thing has to be personal growth in yourself. Personal growth in yourself. He's like, oh, okay, I get that. You need that. He said, but what about the company? I said, oh, yeah, the missing piece. Personal growth in the people. Let's see. How many of you, let's rate it 1 to 10. 10 being anybody in your world, your employees, your team, whatever you do. They are getting personal growth every single week, the way they think, the way they show up. And one, they get nothing at all. How do you rank it? Type in the chat bar. How do you rank it right now? If you don't have a team, well, take a guess. Okay, a 6, just so you know, a 6 in school is a D, right? A 6 is D, 60%. It's failing, right? So he said, well, what do you do, Mike? I said, well, everybody that wants to scale a business, I mean, really scale something that they could win, you need to invest 20% minimum in your training. 20%. Okay, minimum. And out of that 20%, right now, 50% has to be in personal growth. Because if you give skills, if you give skill sets without mindset, you're just dropping money. It's a bucket with holes in it, right? So if we have this bucket here, and all of a sudden you're trying to put skills inside here with the same thinking of the mind, right? That's here. There will be holes here, and it will just bleed out like this. And you'll be mad and you'll be wasting money. So that's what I shared with them, which goes back to, you have to be able to get people, your family, your partnership, whatever you're in, your husband, your wife has to go from fear to trust. How many of you trust yourself, but you have a partner that lives in a state of fear? They're afraid to make a decision, afraid to buy something, afraid to commit. What do you mean you're going to do that? Are you really going to do that wealth code training? It's $500. Really, you've done other stuff before, and we're still like broke, and we still like can't do things. And don't forget, the fridge is broke, right? How many of you have people like that? And if they're on here, maybe don't say it, because you might be arguing later, and then people will be sending me hate Facebook messages or something, right? Versus trust. Yeah. Are we aligned? Are we ready? Are we moving forward? Money is a frequency. Write it down, everybody. Money is a frequency. It's a vibration. If this is the money, let's do this. If this is the money here, oh, I wanted to change that color. Let's do it again. There we go. If this is the money, right? And money is a vibration, and let's say it's this, smooth, okay? That's my mind. My mind says easily, effortlessly, I live in a state of abundance, prosperity, right? But if your mind is that, then that's the frequency. That's the vibration you have. Most of the time, we just align this, and you'll create more abundance. You'll create more abundance. All right, I got a quick poll for you to take. Here, let's see what we learned today from everybody on the poll. Ready for the poll? Here we go. So this poll is, what do I need to say no to? Because yesterday we did, what do you need to say yes to? What do you need to say no to today? Now read them all, right? So there's my old stories. And I think you could pick multiple choices. Feel free. People who don't believe in me. My fear, my past, my guilt and shames, my excuses, poverty thinking. What do I right now in this moment? Click the button, but make a commitment. Don't just click it for me. Click it because you're like, yeah, that's it. I'm saying no to that today. I'm saying no to excuses today. I'm saying no to my past that I think is holding me back. And when you're done, type in boom in the chat bar so I know you're done. All right. So we got 50 people plus on. We got 30. We're almost done. Let's get a couple more in here, and we'll show what's winning the race here. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, Jim. Mary, thank you. Katie, hey. Nice to see you here, Katie. I know some of you, team, make sure you put the link for Wealth Code with the coupon code. I don't want them to miss it. And then this way you guys have it if you want to take care of it now. All right, polls ending. Chantel, no problem. If you see the poll, type in what you want in the bottom. Tell me which one you're going to say no to. Just type it there, and let's end the poll. and let's do a quick share. All right, so old stories. Yeah. People don't believe in me. Fear. My excuses. My excuses is one of the leaders here. Excuses and fear. Excuses and fear, right? Now, if you have excuses and your family has excuses and your employees have excuses and you're living in a state of excuses, well, man, that is that's a pain, right? That's a pain. Let me draw another diagram. Flip to a fresh sheet of paper. Before I draw another diagram, Wendy and everybody on here, type in something that is standing out for you right now. Type in a breakthrough you had. Type in something you're no longer going to accept. Type in something. I need to keep regulating and getting feedback from you because I'm only doing this for transformation. I'm not doing it for motivation. You want motivation? Go listen to a motivational tape, okay? You want transformation? That's what we're looking for. So I got to make sure there's breakthroughs happening inside your mind. All right, win the day. Yes. Excuses. Play a bigger game. You know, any of you that, yes. Who is that? Dr. Claudine? Yeah. Any of you that want to play a bigger game, you got to tell people you're playing a bigger game. Like, tell them. Tell the world. I don't care if you're Instagram or TikTok. Like, tell the world. Scream it from the mountaintop. You know, people say to me, how do I get my business noticed more? This is what they say, Stephanie. How do I get my business noticed more? Do I build a funnel? Then do I use Active Campaign or Go High Level? Or what do I do? You know what you do? Show up like Godzilla. You know, if Godzilla was out that window, everybody would know Godzilla's here. You want to be Godzilla? Show up like Godzilla or King Kong. Everybody will see you. If you want it, you want people to buy, they want to do business with you, want to scale your company, you want to deliver value because you know you change lives, be King Kong. Be King Kong, right? But you have to do it. You have to do it. All right, let's draw this out. So if this is our timeline again, here's what will happen for some of you. Some of you know, and I have people on here, I won't point them out. If they want to like type a big boom in the chat bar, you might figure it out. But like you got Deca Millionaires right on this call here, just so you know. You got Deca Millionaires right on here that have been in my world and like they changed legacy forever. Their wives aren't worried about food tomorrow. Their wives aren't worried about the, you know, first class ticket or throwing a party for friends and family. Should they get the pina colada or just give them water from the tap, right? So let me show this to you right here. So some of you, as you improve your wisdom, well, let's talk about not improving. That'll be better. Some of you will start to scale and grow. You'll actually go like this. You'll start to scale and grow. And then what happens is here, you start to feel like you're winning. I bet some of you on here have felt like you're winning. And when you start to win, you start to back off your momentum. So you might have been moving 100 miles an hour, and now you're winning, so you back off. So what do? You start to say, you know what? I'm going to start biking, and I am going to start helping people, but you didn't finish helping yourself yet. And I'm going to start, you know, another business. And so you were going 100 miles an hour, but you started to get like distracted here. Did anybody ever get distracted? Type in distracted in the chat bar. Any of you like too many shiny objects? You do, like someone once told me, oh, I got 5 companies. I'm like, yeah, so you're broke off your ass, right? They're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, stop bragging to people about what you have and let's start learning of what to do. But then what happens is you get distracted. So you move slower. When you start to move slower, you start to curve down. And then this is normally where people will reach out to me here. They're like, I had the world. Like one time someone reached out to me, Elizabeth, they had a $10 million company and it went from 10 million to 1 million in a year to 0. Huh. The father and son were driving Lamborghinis. Each one of them, they had the same color. I think they were like lime green Lamborghinis. They're living top of the world. Amazing company. 10 million to 1 million to 0. Just from this curve here. Just from this curve. Some people will do it really fast. They're just like reckless. So they go like this and this. They're like, I'm going to do all these things. But they don't have the skill, and they don't have, like, the way you win is you have a guide, right? You have a guide. If you want to go to Antarctica and not die, you probably should have a guide. Is that true? Type in true in the chat bar. Like, if you want to go to the Amazon jungle and not get eaten by a killer gorilla, you probably should have a guide. But people don't have a guide, so they start doing all kinds of things, right? Business owners, they do some new vehicle of some kind, some marketing tool or widget. Someone else, they all of a sudden buy this health thing that's going to change the planet. And all of a sudden, boom, just like pain and suffering right there. So fast. I watch all the time, like boom, boom. Some people like don't even get started here. This is your money journey, right? Because these curves are not good for money. That's not a good curve for money. But this is how I look at the journey of money. I look at it as stepping stones like this, right? I look at it as stepping stones. And along these stepping stones, I look at this as the knowledge line, right? So the amount of wisdom you get, the amount you get to step to the next thing. If you get, so just so you know, if you want an outcome without gaining knowledge, that's called a fantasy. It's called a fantasy. It's what you think about in your mind. It's a fantasy. To get to the outcome of what you want, you need knowledge, and knowledge is these steps, right? Now, the timeline to get to these steps based on, so if we look at this in years, okay, if we look at this in years here, and we look at this in knowledge, then how fast you're going to get there is going to be the differentiator between knowledge years and this right here. I hope you guys are drawing with me. Okay, this is action. This is the ability to apply knowledge. Now, I'm going to give you how I went from what I call decade, to a half a decade. My goal is, my first big thing I wanted to do was do this in 10 years or less, right? Remember, we learned less or more. So I wanted to do it in 10 years. So I needed the knowledge. I needed to take action. I wanted to do it in 10 years. The second big opportunity I had, I wanted to do it in half a decade, 5. But through the 10, I learned something. And I already talked about it a little bit. It's not just my knowledge. That might be, let's say, 10% of the formula of money. Are you guys seeing? Type in money if you get how this all ties to money, why it's the money challenge. Did you guys think you were going to come and we were going to count out dollars or something? Or what did you think we were going to do here? Like, if you don't understand this, it's hard to solve money. Yeah, like, I don't have to tell you spend less and, and buy things that have return. Like, we got to understand this part. So 10% of the formula is me, right? 90% is everyone else. I thought it was the other way around, Jim. I thought it had to be 90% me. That's what took a decade. 90% me, 10% everyone else. When I flip it on the head, and 90% of the people in my world have wisdom, and 90% of them are aligned with what we're going to do in a half a decade, and 90% of everybody in my world understands the massive action to take, what happens? Type in the chat bar. What happens with this and money? This is how we scale companies today. This is how we scale everything. This is how you scale investments. This is how you scale your bank account. This is everything right here. Okay. Are you getting value from this challenge? Can you type in value, please? I hope you're getting value, or you just wouldn't stay on. So our goal is, let's do this stepping stone. the stepping stone. Now, sometimes we stay in the realm of just like the problem realm, but what I want you to do is, some of you probably know the SWOT analysis. It's been around forever, right? If you don't know what the SWOT tool is, put a question mark if you don't know what the SWOT tool is, because I never want to take a, okay, Montana, I'm going to help you and you're going to love this right now. I promise. You probably might even smile today. You might. Okay, he's already smiling. Here we go. All right, here we go. The SWOT. So this is strength. Strength. So I want you to write strength, but I want you to, Wendy, type in one strength that you have about money. One strength that you have about money. It might even be you're learning to train and learn about money. They didn't teach you about money in school. That's the damn problem. You know, they taught you how to like budget a checkbook, but the system was against you, not for you. They didn't want to teach you in school. They didn't teach you how to take money and invest and build things. So the first thing is, what is your strength around money? What is your strength around money? Okay, that's the S, just so you know, strength. Here's the next one, Erica. Ready? What is the weakness? What's the weakness around money? It's not that you don't have it. What's the weakness? You don't understand how it works. You weren't taught about it. You don't have control. You know, my dad's weakness was Home Shopping Network. Did anybody else have a mom or dad on watching the Home Shopping Network and swearing they need that little vacuum and the copper infused mat? My dad was always giving me this stuff. He's like, son, this is for you. It's a copper infused mat. You put it on your pan. I get home, my wife's like, we're never cooking on top of that copper thing. It's going to poison the hell out of us. So, right. So I always gave it away at a garage sale or something because I didn't want to tell my dad I didn't love the copper infused mat. I'm like, Dad, I love you. Save your money. Stop buying me these things, all these things you see at midnight on the Home Shopping Club, right? But this is what happens. So maybe that's the weakness. All right. So there's the W. All right. The next one is, now I want you to just think a minute. The opportunity. What's the opportunity you have for money right now? What's the opportunity? Hey, Megan, look up on the internet how much money exists today on planet Earth. Okay, how much money is there? It's probably going to be like in the trillions or something. See if you could get me a number and type it in the chat bar. So for you, the opportunity is there's no lack of. There is none. There's no lack of. You just have to go find it, right? And then the last one here that I want you to tell me is threat. What's the threat with money? A threat might be you won't learn about it in time, right? Like if you are one of these people that want to retire, which is another question came up on the podcast. I hope it's okay that I share it. Someone said China's the threat. Well, I think they're an opportunity too, right? We think they're a threat because you're programmed in threat and they think we're a threat and vice versa. But you know what came up on there about, threats and things today is that what you see as a threat is only a threat mostly because you're programmed to see it as a threat, right? You're programmed to see it as a threat, but it is real to you because it's a threat. My bills, my mortgage is a threat. Maybe you think, not mine. I've been mortgage free since I'm 28, so I don't have that threat by design. Remember, this whole thing about money is about life, business, and wealth by design, right? By design. That's what we're looking for. So now with this money here, this SWOT analysis that you can use in every aspect of your life. So guess what, Montana? You want to look at your business. You go, what's the strength, the weakness, the opportunity, the threat? You want to look at your health. What's the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat? You want to look at your relationship. What's the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat? This has been around for a long time. Now, what makes this work so well is when you go through it is this. Same thing with this training. And we'll get something from everybody. What's one thing you're going to start doing? So I want every one of you to think right now, what's one thing you're going to start doing right now? You're going to start doing it. What? Building, planning, learning, growing, get the money. There you go, Richard. Go get the money. Did Megan, did you put the number in there? Did you find it? Yeah, 83 trillion. Okay, so there's a little bit of money for everybody. The next thing is, Wendy, what is something right now you're going to stop doing? What is something you're going to stop doing right now? Tell me. Some of you got to stop entertaining conversations that just don't move you forward. Some of you got to stop saying yes to everything that's not helping you and your family. Remember, if you don't put the oxygen mask on you first, you can't help everyone else. This is probably one of the things I watch. Everybody's trying to help someone else. They didn't finish helping themselves. If you want to change the world, finish improving yourself so you can get to yourself so you understand abundance, financial freedom, then go help the whole world. If you're helping the world and did not help your world, this thing's going to have a consequence someday. And last one is breakthrough. Breakthrough. So you guys tell me, and every day I'm looking for you to start something, stop something, and have a breakthrough. So what's the breakthrough? Now we're on day 3. We're going to go a little bit longer. I hope that's okay. But every day I went longer, and even if it's not okay with you, you'll just click off and I'll keep talking. So I'm going to keep serving. What's the breakthrough that you've had? Okay, Wendy says, I can believe in myself. Yeah. Take off the blinkers. Okay. What else? What's the breakthrough you had? Because every day I want these things to happen for you. Been a little uncomfortable last couple weeks. Oh, been a little comfortable. Oh, man. Oh, sorry to hear that. Chuck, that's dangerous. Comfortable is dangerous, right? It's like martial arts. If anybody's a martial artist, we always say, miss the dojo one day, it's easy to miss training the next day. Before you know it, you're telling people you're a martial artist because you did it when you were 10 years old, right? Delegate responsibilities to others so I can stay laser focused. Great, Elizabeth. What else? Someone else, give me your breakthroughs. I have 2 more things I have to get done before we go here. I got 2 more things, and then I got to give you your homework. Your homework here. All right, let's go to the next one. You guys keep typing in your breakthroughs there. So the next one is we have to demolish barriers. Okay. Now there's a whole bunch of barriers. Okay, so let's draw some barriers, and let's see what are the barriers that you have inside life. Like, one of the barriers that I see a lot of people have is no training. So you're trying to do something that you have no skill and understanding of. How are you going to do it? So you're like, success leaves clues. What? Do any of you have time to go sniffing for clues? Like, I don't know about you. I'll be level 54 this year. I'm a billionaire in training. Okay. I'm a billionaire in training. I got no time to go sniff for a clue. That's why I pay people every single year. Last year, I think $250,000 in training and education. Why? Because the day I think I know it all and I'm too smart, it will start to unwind on me. That's why I'm constantly investing, right? Maybe the next thing is, you don't have a teacher or a mentor. So you're like, oh, my friend's really wealthy. He helps me. I'm like, really? So why are you not wealthy already? Well, he's busy. Okay, then he's a friend. He's not a teacher. There's a big difference. Let's get clear on things. The other thing is maybe no support. No support, right? So it's like, I want to win, but everyone else, it feels like the deck is stacked against me. How many of you sometimes just feel a little lonely and you have no community? Do any of you? You're not in a community that's thriving. Now, I know some of you are in my world, so I hope you don't say yes to this, but some of you, you're not in a community. So there's no, you don't know what it's like. You're running with sheep, not with a pack of wolves. You're not running with people that are motivated, excited, that want you to do more, bigger. A lot of the world wants you to do less. Like, why do you need more? Just be happy. It's like, what? I do more because I can, I want to, I love to, and the more I do, the more I can give, right? Now, maybe one more, just remember, you have this wall of trust. Now, how do you get through the wall? Well, congrats, you already did step one, everybody, which I'm proud of you of. You showed up here, and I look at this like this, right? This is a cannon. I believe this is the start of the fuse, right? And our goal is to shoot a cannonball and start to break through all of these. And even though this is only 1 hour a day, and we might only be making some like fractures and cracks in the wall, it's better than 3 days ago when all you did was pour more concrete on the wall. Does this make sense? Give me a boom in the chat bar. Is this making sense? Our goal is to create a cannonball so we could smash these things down. Myself, my team, my beautiful wife, my partner, my son, everybody here. We have a whole team on here with you. We're not on here for any other reason than to smash this wall down for you. Why do you think we're doing Wealth Code? Smash the wall. Now, will Wealth Code create you into a decamillionaire? I don't know. Are you going to listen? Are you going to do? How fast are you willing to do? How much work? People are like, I work late. I'm like, I get it. You guys do know I had little kids too, right? My daughter's 22. My son's going to be 25. And when my son was little, just so you know how I had the same excuses. But when he was little and I was getting him to go to sleep in his bed, because I never did that. And I'm not judging. If you guys do it, it's fine. I never did that cry yourself to sleep thing. That wasn't me and my wife. You know, we did transition, and then he would lay in his bed, and I would sit on the floor next to the bed with a little light, Megan, with a little light and scissors, and I would cut out and build yellow page ads, Rhonda, yellow page ads. And he would say, Dad, and I'd go right here, right here. And then I'd go back and I would tape and I would build this yellow page ad. And then I would bring it, not like today, you could take a picture, designers build it. There's people all over the world doing stuff. I mean, it's one of the things I teach business owners when I partner and stuff is how they could build their business while they sleep by having people work while they're sleeping, right? So not like back then, you had to bring it and, you know, you had to, okay, fax machine, right? Some of you are too young, you don't remember that. You had to fax it, right? So I get all the excuses. I just didn't accept them. So I learned to sleep less, raise my energy of vibration so I didn't feel fatigue and burnout, right? I didn't feel fatigue and burnout. And I kept focusing on my mind. Same thing I want you to do, right? Same thing I want you to do. All right. So now we have to create this focus. We got 2 more things to do here. And focus is we want to create that vertical rocket, right? We want to create that rocket of money, which means we want to go vertical with this, which says there's action steps to get there. And if you do the Wealth Code training, you'll be part of the case study. That's why we're doing it for $500. I want you guys to be a case study so I can show that we're impacting the world more than anybody else on the planet. But I also know if a lot of people don't pay, they don't pay attention. You guys are an anomaly. You're here, you're paying attention. Most of you didn't have to pay for what was free unless you did the $47 thing. So you're an anomaly that you're paying attention. But at $500, you're going to pay real attention. And some people do things with me that are 10, 20, 50, hundreds of thousands of dollars. They pay a lot of attention, which means they have leverage. They move quicker. So if you want to move like a rocket, these are action items. So let's just pick your first action item today. What is your first action item? And then we're going to do one exercise to help you for your homework start to remove things that are keeping you from blasting off like a rocket. Okay. So what is the first action item that you know is going to blast you off? hopefully for everybody here, because some of you are in my world, some of you are new. Hopefully your first action is you're signing up for Wealth Code. I hope that, because I can't beg you to do it. I just know what it does. And that's why I don't point out who's Deck of Millionaires on here, because I don't want to bring attention, because you'll go to them and be like, how'd you do it? And they're going to tell you, I hope they're going to tell you, you should be listening to Mike and what he says. Just follow the plan and do the work, right? Pick up the phone, do calls, commit. Lori, great job, commit. Get things out of your Amazon cart, right? All right. Last thing, everybody. How do we start to remove these things from our mind? We talked about these scripts and imprints. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to create money mantra. Okay, this is going to be your homework. You're going to create your money mantra. Now, when you have a money mantra and you have a belief, so let's put a belief here, and the belief is money is hard to get. Okay, this is your old belief. Now, when we create a more powerful belief, right, a stronger belief, a stronger one. So somebody take a guess. Okay, I am health, wealth, love, and success. Okay, that sounds good. So he says this belief so much here, right, that it then collapses this belief. So Richard says that every day, I am health, wealth, love, and success. Might want to add massive, or you might want to put a little bit more fuel or vibrationary words, right? Every single day, it will collapse these internal beliefs. Now, if he does that 100 times a day for 100 days and does not get the money he desires, then that mantra is not strong enough to kill that belief. Because if you kill the belief, a new belief comes in, you will attract new things. So your homework for all of you, your homework is to create your money mantra, and post it in the Facebook group, because you're going to help other people too, right? You're going to 40,000 this AM. I think that you're saying you made that. Hey, Sue, and I see money comes to me easily and effortlessly with increasing amounts. Yeah, love that. So I want you guys to post it. Bonus if you post it with a cool background or picture, or you flexing your muscles or something. A painted vision, Lori, is not a mantra. A painted vision is a story of a belief system, right? So like a painted vision is, if it's for a company, or vivid vision, a friend of mine, Cameron Harold, has brought that to the market years ago. It's about like, what's the vision of the culture, the vision of the brand, the vision of the future, the vision of the operations, and the vision of everything. This here is a mantra. It's a one phrase to conquer a belief, to kill a past belief and create a new one. Now, this works in a lot of cases, but you then have to kill the next belief, because it's just, this is one link holding you back, but you might have many links. Okay, many links, right? Yeah, I'll see, Tara, I'll see if Jen will post hers in the Facebook group, because she says it way better, but it's something like money comes to her easily, effortlessly, in abundance, or something like that. All right, so that's going to be your homework. Would you guys, let's do a little poll here, because it is 10 after 4. Would you like, let me look who's on here. Hey, Rhonda and all you. Would you guys like another activation here? I have one that's called 1 million. For us to have your eyes open or closed just for about 3 minutes. Who wants it? Type a million in the chat bar. Do you want it? Because these things are, these activations are infused with the energy and thought patterns with music behind it to help break past your beliefs and help put it in. Okay, Erica, I'm thinking you did that. Raise your hand because you want it. All right, let's do it. So this one, let me check the volume. Okay, Let's lower the volume of my hair. All right, here it comes, everybody. Move your stuff away for a minute. Move your stuff away. Before we do it, don't forget, if you want Wealth Code or the VIP, hit us up. If you need any links, you got our team on here. Team, tell them how to get in touch with you if they need to get in touch with you to ask any questions. You have your homework. You can watch your replay. Please invite other people. Please invite other people to it so they could get the replays. Even if you invite them in the Facebook group and they can't make this, maybe they're working or something. Let them go in and watch the replays. Watch the replays. Okay, here we go. And Erica, you could lower your hand back down again if you want. Yep. Oh, unless you had a question. Unmute yourself a minute. Unmute yourself.
No, I don't have a question. It's just
Okay.
not going away.
Okay, that's what I thought. My team was like, Erica's
Hold on.
hands up. I'm like, I know. She's just saying she wants this thing. Okay, I got you covered. Here we go, everybody. So take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath in. And breathe out. There you go. Move your neck around a little bit. Shake your body. You're getting a lot of information in short periods of time inside your mind. And your whole body and mind is realigning with your greatest future that's coming here with money and wealth and abundance and prosperity. So take another deep breath in and breathe out and really let's just relax into the moment here. Let the pressures roll off. Let any other thoughts, distractions, flip your phone over real quick so it's not distracting you. And we'll just go for a couple minutes here. Ready? And just look and either keep your eyes open or closed. You could take a mental image and close. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, everybody, slowly come on back. Slowly come on back. Tell me what came to you and through you during that. Type that in the chat bar. Type it in the chat bar. What did you feel? What did you see? What did you think? I should have gave a caveat to people driving. Don't do it if you're driving. Wendy, type in the chat bar what was coming to you, light and dark. Okay, awesome. Oh, my camera was off. Ha! You heard me talking from the clouds there. All right, my apologies on that. All right, money does grow on trees. I simply need to pick the leaves. Yeah, I saw myself doing that. Yeah, joy, happiness. Love it, love it. What else do you guys have? Type it in the chat bar. What did you get? And would you like that uploaded into the Facebook group? Tell me in the chat bar. Only if you're going to do the homework. Are you all going to go in there and post in the Facebook group? If you're all going to go in there and be like, here's my mantra, Mike. Call me out in there. Be like, I'm calling you, Mike. Here's my mantra. And then I'll do my part. I'm going to keep showing up every day for all of you with our team to serve you. We appreciate you guys. We love you. I am impressed with the progress that you guys are making and the dedication to show up. So if you're going to see me tomorrow, tell me in the chat bar, then boom, we will see you tomorrow. Same time, same bat channel. Show up a little early because you never know if I'm going to be there early with a special little surprise maybe. So make sure you show up early and we'll do our best to fit in tomorrow some Q&A. Also, don't forget, if you're an action taker and you're going to do the wealth code, we'll just do it or just say you're not going to do it. I'm okay either way. If you want to talk about the VIP, come hang out with me in 2 days. It's not one of those things where we'll have, be putting videos of you on the internet because we have special people coming there. And so it's going to be just us. There's not going to be cameras in your face, not for that event. And I promise there's going to be some cool things we'll do on the beach. You don't have to worry. You're not going to be get punched in the face or anything like that. It's going to be full love and massive transformation breakthrough. We'll collapse decades into a year. So if you want to know more about that, hit up the team or fill out the form or private message me on Facebook. It'll be me responding. All right, everybody. Boom. Have an amazing rest of your day.